coast on high alert tonight. A tsunami advisory triggered by an undersea volcanic eruption in the island nation of Tonga that's located in the Pacific Ocean. These satellite images on your screen show just how big that blast was, and 3 miles wide and 12 miles high. On the right, you can see the view of the ocean off the coast of Santa Cruz, with those waves coming in one after another there. Hawaii has already observed that tsunami with only minor flooding, but officials warn strong currents could persist. So here's the area under advisory in the red. It's on your screen. That includes the entire coastlines of California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska. Tonga, which is north of New Zealand, experienced flooding and up to 4-foot waves. Here's video on the left. This video from New Zealand shows some of the waves rushing into the coastal town of Wellington. The big focal point, though, for us right now is the Central Coast, where many surfers and people at the beach have been evacuated and warned to stay away from the water.
There's a tsunami advisory in effect. Stay out of the water, off the beach, and away from the coast.
You heard it there. We saw the San Francisco Fire Department doing their sweeps. This is video of Pleasure Point in Monterey Bay, where surfers evacuated as the waves crashed right against the rocks trying to make it up those steps. The San Francisco firefighters had to rescue a surfer 300 feet off the coast of Kelly's Cove at Ocean Beach. This is video from the fire department of that. Rescue crews say the surge of waves were just so powerful that the surfer's board actually broke. The good news, though, right now is that surfer is safe. Take a look at these waves as well, crashing over the seawall. You can even hear its force. That car trying to drive through as those waves flood into the roadway. Some really crazy scenes there. And here you want to check out rough waters in Half Moon Bay. You can hear the wind as well. The Tsunami Warning Center says strong currents, a shoreline that has receded or is receding quickly, and unusual waves or sounds. Yeah, those are all signs that a tsunami is coming in. And finally, in the Santa Cruz Harbor, look at all of this water surging in, going all the way up to the pier there as well. This same area was also hit by a small tsunami wave back in 2011. That was after an earthquake had hit Japan. Now, with that in mind, KCRA went to Santa Cruz today to see the preparation underway for any potential tsunami damage there. KCRA 3's Aaron Heft is live on the coast in Santa Cruz. Aaron, we know the tsunami caused massive tides flooding the harbor there. Can you tell us the conditions that you're now seeing tonight?
Good evening, Brittany. This morning was chaos. Today, reminding people of the large tide that really hit this area hard back in 2011. People rushing to this very beach to see for themselves what would happen.
These cars are getting pushed around. I jumped on my bike and I just cruised down here to try and get a look at what was going on. And sure enough, the water was surging in.
That's Josh Hawley. And when he got to the Santa Cruz Harbor, this is what he saw.
Yeah, so I came out this morning once I heard that there was a tsunami alert, and thought it'd be, good to come to the harbor and see what was going on.
Emergency responders kicking him out. He says he's thankful, saying he'd be under this water if he stayed where he was. Hundreds of people coming to see what was happening.
Yeah, we figured we'd come down and see, what the surge might look like here. And
boat owners being kept off the docks for their safety. They say these river-like currents aren't normal.
So the docks were actually almost to the tops. They were almost locked.
Jason Colby said he was prepared to cut his boat loose if things took a turn.
You drop a rock in the pond and, the waves start big and then they eventually get small enough.
Locals saying the surge seemed 10 feet high.
For sure. Okay. The harbor flooded.
Hitting the waves daily south of the harbor, Matt and Tony say today's strange.
Yeah, as I came out, I was watching him and I was like, he's sideways in the current.
And so it wanted to throw me out past the jetty.
The area's major concerns, riptides and coastal flooding, with surges damaging docks, boats, and people not heeding warnings and staying out of the water and off the beach.
I just tried to walk down the stairs and get yelled at.
The ripple effect from over 5,300 miles away still pushing into California.
the beauty of Mother Nature and everything she gives us, and then there's the other side of her too, you know.
Mother Nature, of course, being wild in nature. Obviously, you can see the ocean right now. People going into the ocean telling us today that these waves feel strange, they feel dangerous, the current's not normal. You can actually see onto the beach. This shoreline and the coast, this water just went so much farther up on this beach than average, they say today. Everyone's saying it felt strange, it felt dangerous. It's not a time to be out here, and that's what locals are saying. Brittany, back to you.
Aaron, I'm sure there was worry, but we heard some mixed reactions from folks out there as well. We know this area has seen extreme damage before from a similar tsunami. Can you explain what happened back then?
Oh yeah, the harbor that we just showed you in that last piece, that harbor had $120 million worth of damage. It took years and years to repair. 15 boats sank. 23 of the 30 docks actually had extensive damage, and those docks were repaired and replaced, and they were repaired to have and withstand waves that were 2 feet in surge length. Now, they did see larger surges than that today, but they're not reporting damage as of yet.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much. We do want to show you video of what Aaron was just explaining, so take a look here. This was back in 2011. You can see those waves coming in, crashing into boats. Yeah, it's a pretty shocking sight. An earthquake in Japan spawned a tsunami that crossed the Pacific and caused all of this damage to the Santa Cruz harbor. The new docks, as Aaron just told you, were built to withstand 2 feet waves. People we spoke to today said that tsunami felt like a river flowing in and out of the harbor.
I mean, if you've ever seen the video, you guys go on YouTube. This was a mess. There was boats going around. It looked basically like a, fish tank.
A fish tank is definitely a good way to describe it. So yeah, more than 100 boats there were damaged, plus 23 of the harbor's 30 docks as well. Let's talk about the impact we did see from the tsunami today, with Hawaii already seeing some of its biggest waves, Melanie.
Yeah, and I want to focus in on what exactly the tsunami advisory is, because we're still seeing some water levels a little bit higher than we typically expect. So tsunami advisory goes into place when we have peak wave heights that are expected to be 1 foot to 3 feet above our normal tide. So that's when we talk about high tide and low tide. And this is one of the plot charts that meteorologists are using to see the waves that we are seeing. So we have what we consider the predictive wave, that is shown in a blue line here. And then we also have the observed, which is shown in red. And typically we just have these lines that pretty much run parallel to each other. But when we started to see these tsunami waves, here's where you start to see these sharp rises and falls with the wave heights. And I just picked one of these observations. This is Point Reyes. Now, at times, the observed waves were about 1.5 feet higher than what we typically see. Some observations along the California coast were about 3 feet or higher, but those were mainly some isolated pockets. But I show you this now because while the water levels overall continue to decrease, we still have some sharp rises and falls, and typically we need to spend 3 hours with those rises that are under 1 foot before we can have this tsunami advisory expire. Brittany?
All right, Melanie, that's a really helpful breakdown. Thank you so much. Of course, we will continue to follow this tsunami advisory up and down the West Coast. For the very latest updates, you can always check out our KCRA 3 app.